Oh, you're rolling. What's up, guys? My name is Bryan Serrano, co-founder of Playa Beach.
Tell us about set days.
I guess it was actually, for the time, it was definitely like the most planned out film that we'd ever done. Ryan wanted to make it a oneer, which I was like, that sounds impossible. And we didn't do a oneer, but we tried to cheat it in ways. So we actually met up a week earlier with some of the actors and blocked out like the sequence within the space and how we were going to split it up over the 2 shoot days, with it feeling normal and not disjointed. It was interesting. It was also pretty challenging when you had to deal with extras and then like the continuity of them moving around, but they're not in the same place. We also had to deal with rain on the lenses and also lots of shadows from like lights within the setting. So that was difficult. But no, it was fun. I actually liked directing that one. It was stressful, but it was also kind of like the least stressful one to direct that I've done.
What can you tell us about Curious Case?
Curious Case is a very detailed neo-noir film centered around a college student attending the University of California in Irvine, who is from Fresno, and he is not used to the way that Irvine is, and he thinks there's something bigger afoot. And are all of his hypotheses correct? No. Actually, almost none of them are correct. But watch it, please. It's satire. Right? Is that what it is? Yeah.
We'll say that. What was the process like for you joining Playa Beach at the beginning?
It was me just for the longest time of my life wanting to film stuff with a group of people. And I never really had the opportunity to do that. I mean, I had my friends in high school and whatnot, but they weren't as into it as I was. So it was just kind of me dragging my friends along filming shit. It wasn't until like freshman year of college I started filming stuff with Ryan. Me and him filmed like 2 shorts together, and then we kind of stopped talking. And then it was me and Miguel who met up, and we talking about how we were interested in doing film. Or he was mainly telling me how he was interested in doing film. And then we filmed something for our buddy Harrison, which Merch was a part of. And then eventually we all started like wanting to film stuff together, looped Ryan back in on it, brought in our buddy Oshan, and yeah.
During its infancy, you acted a lot in Playa Beach projects. Out of all the roles that you've had in Playa Beach projects, which one has been your favorite and why?
Tyler Teaches from Losing.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's because I had the most control over that role. I really made it into something genius, something special, you know? Not just a side character who's dumb. Because I'm more than that, guys.
Which character would you say is most like you, and which character is least like you?
I don't know. Okay, I'll say Tyler is least like me. Because he's like a southern boy that, teaches you how to do self-defense and all that. Most like me, I guess I'll say whatever my character's name was from Paper Bagmen. I was Connor. Yeah, that's right. Connor's probably most like me. Because it's like I'm an idiot, but at least I'm like trying to get shit done. I'm a motivated idiot.
When's Fullerton coming out?
Ooh, you know what? I think it'll come out right when world peace is kind of in motion of like solidifying. I think that's the right time for it. Like once all the nations in the world kind of come together and realize, hey, listen, we're in trouble here. We gotta come together. Let's stop war. Let's just do good. Then I think that's probably a good time to drop it.
How would you describe your directing style?
I'll say my directing style it's definitely not actor oriented. It's much more oriented on the side of where camera angles are, kind of shot composition. In terms of actor delivery, I'm more interested in them delivering it in a way that the actor sees fit for their character, assuming that the actor kind of knows the role that they're playing. I'm more focused on the actor delivering it in a way that's realistic. Like, it sounds real. So I don't care if whatever I've written on the page for a script is exactly what they say. They can tweak it however they want, as long as they get the point across. Everything else for me is kind of just shot composition and continuity.
Cool. What was the movie you watched that made you want to get into film?
Fuck, dude. That's like a lot of films. I wanted to get into film since I was super young, since I was like in first grade. I think it was like something like Jurassic Park or like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Those were the type of movies that kind of like pulled me out of like my world and put me into theirs. So like Lord of the Rings, I felt like I was like in Middle Earth, and when I was a kid, I would just constantly after that think about like Middle Earth. In the Irvine Channel, that area that has the thing where you film time, the area that has like those little barricades there. I used to think that was like the area outside of Minas Tirith. There was like a big orc fight there in the third movie, I think. Yeah, I would like just kind of like live and breathe a certain world after I'd seen a movie. So like Jurassic Park, all I thought about was like dinosaurs and shit. And I kind of like the aspect of movies that pulled me out of reality and like just kind of like gave me something else to think about.
What has inspired Fullerton the most out of any other source of media?
I don't know, because I had the idea for this long before I actually started seeing the show. As I started watching the thing, I kind of realized that it's exactly where I'm going with Fullerton. So I'm going to say like Shameless. What inspired it? Have you seen that YouTube original show? Was it YouTube at the time? I think it might have been Wayne. It was like a coming of age story, but it was like super just raunchy and gritty and just weird.
Would you have ever guessed that Playa Beach is where it is at now, within about a year and a half?
Honestly, no. I thought I was going to have to pull my friends in again to film shit with us, but no, I'm glad where it's going right now. Didn't expect it to go this far this quick, but I'm happy it's here.
Can you do an impression of the other three founders?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I got you. Hello, I'm Victor Murch. Yours is the easiest to do. Let's do... How do I do Miguel, actually? I want to figure out how to do Miguel. So this is Miguel real quick. Sorry, my hair's a mess because I was wearing a hat all day. He's like... Oh, man. It's been a long day. You know, though, I'm kind of happy where it ended up. You know, it's I think narratively we actually kind of tied it together really well, and I'm really excited what's gonna happen. But what's Ryan Shaw? What's Shoddy like? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Egelhoff's a pretty good one to do. Yeah, we're gonna need to reshoot that.
What was the biggest challenge, you think, during the production of Set Days as a director?
Honestly, as a director, it was mainly just continuity for that one. Because at a certain point, when you realize that you have to do a oneer or something that's similar to a oneer, you kind of have to say, like, fuck cinematic storytelling. Because you're kind of limited at that point. You're like, it's more of a theater act than it is an actual, like, film thing. It kind of just becomes, like, logistics from then on. So I'd say the most complicated thing was just continuity.
What do you feel like is the most underrated Playa Beach short film?
Definitely March 31st. I think it is underrated in terms of, like, critical success, whatever the fuck you would call that. But definitely, like, in terms of view count, go watch March 31st. Produced by, I don't know, some guy.
You get to co-direct a film and also cast the lead.
Edgar Wright is who I would co-direct with. And then, who would I want to star? Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're him.
I'm him, yeah. Yeah. I cast myself.
During what project and at what moment did you realize that Playa Beach was going to stick around?
Honestly, actually, Cowmen. Cowmen is where I thought that. Because set days, I was like, this has the most people, but this could be our final hurrah. This could be like, wow, we did this. That's cool. We're done. But then Cowmen, with us getting Ken and like seeing how we got an actor kind of out of our attainable like reach, I was like, okay, now we could be around a little longer.
What's a genre of film that you haven't worked on yet that you're itching to create?
Itching to. I mean, okay, with Playa Beach, I've never done an action, but I've done action like before that. Can't say it was great, but I would really like to touch that again. That's what I'm itching to try. Something that I'm like kind of interested in trying. Honestly, like a romance, actually. I'd want to try that. Maybe a whole film that's like basically like kind of Stockholm Syndrome, but it's like played as a romance movie. When you break it down and you step away from it, you're like, this is Stockholm Syndrome. But the audience, when they're watching it, they're like, that's so sweet. That'd be awesome. Just imagine the outrage.
Has there been a moment where you have been on a set and you have genuinely felt like threatened as a creative, where you kind of felt intimidated by being on that set?
You know what? Not really. After seeing like you guys work, seeing Ryan work, and other people work in Saddleback, I think I kind of realized like creative stuff, while I do like doing it, it's not my forte, which is why I will take roles like producer and sometimes AD because it seems more logistical than it does creative. And I do like logistical problems more so because creative kind of like rattles my brain and I'm like, there's no rules to this. It's not a definitive answer, yada, yada, yada. And it kind of stresses me out. But if I were to actually answer your question, I don't know. I guess Egelhoff back in film one, but it didn't upset me. I was just kind of like, wow, this guy kind of knows his shit.
Favorite role or like your most preferred role on crew?
I guess AD, but if I were to actually do like crew, sounds like pretty, because it's also like straightforward. When you get into cinematography, you're touching the artsy stuff. When you get to lighting's not so much as artsy, but it is like kind of logistical. And I'm not that like, I don't know enough about lights to feel comfortable doing something like that. Come on, pick up.
What's up?
Hello, I'm doing my interview right now.
How are you?
Yeah.
Say hello to Playa Beach for me.
I did. Do you have any questions for me? Because they're running out of questions over here.
Shoot. Okay. Wait. I need to think of a. I'll have to think. I'll text them to Merch or to John.
Okay.
Still there?
Yeah,
To John.
they're both here.
Okay. Wait. Give me like 5 minutes to think.
Okay. All right.
All right. I'll send them.
All right. Peace.
Okay. So you go to school at USC and you're studying
Advertising.
advertising. How do you feel like that has influenced you as a filmmaker?
Not at all. Because I wanted to initially just do full-on business, which for my undergrad, which is not going to happen. I'm doing it for my master's. It hasn't really impacted it a lot, but it has like kind of opened my eyes up to see like how I can monetize filmmaking and how kind of important it is. So my professors say in the coming years. They could be full of shit, but to me it makes sense. How important filmmaking is going to be for not only advertising, PR, and marketing. They're all kind of joining together, and that is becoming a huge industry.
Ryan,
Yes.
what kind of stories can we expect from Fullerton?
Biggest theme is family, and kind of like the question of if you should keep them or drop them, basically. Thanks for watching, guys. My name's Bryan Serrano, and if you haven't checked our stuff out, then what the f*** is wrong with you? Subscribe to Playa Beach. It's a good time.